Hello, everyone. Welcome to week number 4 of Die Party Blood Use. Holy crap. I've been waiting for this for a while. Like, this whole week has literally been me sitting there going, holy fuck.
Soon.
What am I going to do about Walzer? Because, there's some shit went down last week, and now we gotta live with it. So, let me introduce the players for today's game. We have Wreckage playing question mark. And Wreckage.
Hi.
Oh, there he is. Hello. We
Telling
have.
you to just not say anything. Didn't go with it.
You're gonna do the Graham. Do the Graham. Next we have Jacob, who is coming back as Engelard.
Hey.
We have myself playing the broken and downtrodden Walzer. Hello. And I will also be taking part of playing half the brain of my animal companion called Pike, as well as Graham, who will be playing the other half of the brain, probably the one that is a little more...
The animalistic one.
Yeah. He's got a little more, basic instincts than what I would have. And he will also be the game master, so... Yeah, that's pretty much the crew. The reason why Wreckage is playing question mark is because hopefully we will meet his character today. I don't know what his character is, and the moment we do meet him, the break after we meet him, we will be filling out his information if we meet him. There's a big if there. So that's basically why that's how it is. So I hear that Wreckage, you're the one responsible for the recap this week.
Last week on Die Party Blood News. The dwarves plan their assault against the goblin-controlled gnomish burrow. Thor leads our unsuspecting heroes through a back passage. After triggering a mushroom-based alarm system to draw their attention, a fight ensues in otherwise dimly lit rooms. Thor, the enigmatic mute dwarf, with his blind fighting technique, presses on ahead, fighting unknown numbers of goblins alone. Meanwhile, Engelard and Walzer also clear out some goblins.
At this point,
Eventually,
I did get shot in the chest, so just wound number one.
Walzer takes his wound of the episode, gets shot in the chest, and self-cauterizes the wound with a torch.
First natural 20.
Meanwhile, Bafar and his ghost hunters come in from another entrance filled with mounted riding goblins who ride wolves and shit. It's so hardcore.
It's metal.
They come in just in time to see Walzer and Engelard finishing off their goblins, but do not see Thor. Bafar, out of concern for his companion, seeks to assist Thor and goes alone with Bellinor, whose name I can't remember exactly.
The two swordsmen dwarf
You know what?
who only
His
has
name is just
one
Bellinor
sword.
now. Just don't worry about what his name actually was.
It doesn't matter because he's gone
It
forever.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bafar cleft one of the hobgoblins in twain, saving Thor's life. Thor, with a broken foot, limps back towards Walzer and Engelard, but suddenly the horrible screams of agony as Bafar is eaten alive by an owlbear, mounted by a goblinish wizard thing. Shaman.
Thing.
Bellinor wets himself and runs away. Thor only just manages to make it back to the line formed by dwarven reinforcements and Walzer and Engelard. The owlbear is then accompanied by two bugbears, a male and a female, who press into the chamber, just in time for Engelard to cast an icy spell upon the ground. to destabilize their footing. In the distance, a shriek similar to Pike's is heard, insinuating yet further monstrous horrors in the darkness. Then they fight, and various things happen. The owlbear gets stabbed, it trips, it falls over. Ultimately, it appears not much threat to anything but Bafar. But at the pinnacle of the battle, Walzer's mind is overshadowed by some sort of charm spell. He suddenly feels like the goblin-y wizard on top of the wyvern thing is his BFF, best bud forever. He turns on the dwarves, and not really trusting humans in the first place, the dwarves turn on him. Eventually, Engelard is able to break the spell with further spells and also some rational reasoning. But not before Walzer's arm gets all fucked up, yo.
Hella broken. We're talking...
With the goblins mostly routed and severe dwarven casualties, the dwarves recover Bafar's corpse and retreat from the gnomish burrow. Walzer and Engelard are left behind, kind of, but there's really no threat, so it's not like it's weird or anything. And that was basically where we left off.
Story time with fucking... Story time with Wreckage. Thanks, man. That's good.
Very good. Yes.
Hi, Graham. What are we doing?
Do you guys want to talk about the new stuff you got, or do you think it matters?
Sure, yeah. I mean, like...
I think Engelard is important. That's what I was thinking about more.
Yeah. Well, I can go first before you start spilling the beans on your hot new talents. So I just picked up a few more skills, mostly for the use of pike, considering that my arm is hella fucked up. So I got Whirlwind Fury, I got Flanking Assault, and I got Brutal Rebuke, which are just skills. Stunts, not skills. And it's basically just Whirlwind Fury is what you think it is. Spin around, hit some dudes. Flanking Assault is for each ally adjacent to the target, you get another AB, which is very handy. And Brutal Rebuke is if a target started hitting on your friend, you get some more AB against them for the next turn.
And Engelard, what is your hot new stuff?
I mean, it's not simple really. Basically, I picked up 3 leadership traits for Engelard. There's the four, I guess I should say. I picked up the leadership skill, period, just the base leadership skill, which I believe gives me +2 morale checks for all my allies, and also gives me access to all these special little traits for leadership. The 3 I picked out, because there's like a huge list of them, was Defensive Commander, which gives a +1 bonus to all allies DC that are within 30 feet of me. The Archery Commander.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 feet.
I thought it was 10. I was like, damn.
Nope, 30.
That's so much better. Like, yeah.
Archery Commander means that basically all allies within 30 feet of me gain a +1 bonus on ranged attacks when I'm basically spotting out the enemy for them. And also, final one was Melee Commander, which all allies get +1 to allied melee attacks within 30 feet.
How does that work with, because Walzer can use a bow. Well, he used to be able to use a bow. Does that mean you have to call out targets for me to shoot at? Is that how that AB works?
That's really just the flavor.
That's what is technically happening. Is that he is saying things that are better, like don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes or some ridiculous thing.
Okay.
He doesn't actually have to say it.
I don't have to say it, but hey.
Hey,
nice still.
Jacob, I expect you to fucking be good on that, man. I expect you to be like, don't you fire yet! You wait!
Hey.
You wait!
Wait.
Hold!
Hold! Fire!
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's going to be very good. I mean, there's some really good ones in there, like for enemies that are like running away from being scared. They get like everyone gets like attack bonuses on them, and it's crazy, man. There is some really cool stuff in there, and it works really well too because it works really good for Engelard because of the fact that you have a high charisma, because it's all charisma based stuff, which is really cool.
And plus, you know, he's not very good at combat himself.
Well, I mean, that's no one's fault but your own, I feel. You know, like,
the many misses of either large
max character.
Yeah.
That is part of it.
All right. I decided to be the skill monkey.
So
anyway, let's get back into it. You guys, well, all that stuff that Spencer just said just happened, and you guys are standing there in the room, surrounded by goblin corpses, and Walzer, your arm is cracked, and your humerus is cracked in the middle, and it will take a while to heal, and essentially as long as you don't do anything with it, it won't hurt, but it would certainly be useful to get like a splint on that or wrap it up or something.
Is that like the upper arm or the lower arm? I can't remember.
It's the like bicep, like this,
okay,
the bicep around your humerus.
Sure. And you said it was a special type of break, the one that had splinters and stuff in there? It wasn't a clean break?
There's a word for it. Yeah, there will be bone shards.
We talked about it before. I'm going to try and find it because it's important. Let's see here.
Anyway.
Yeah, keep going.
You guys are in this Gnomish Burrow town. There are in the room you're in, there are bas-relief sculptures carved into the walls of Gnomish figures, wearing armor, wearing robes, etc., etc. It's just still dark in here. You've got your torch though.
Yes.
And it's basically Walzer, Engelard, and Pike, standing there in a quiet stone chamber.
So I turn to Engelard and I go, well, what's next?
Well, considering how, I guess, screwed up your arm is right now, I guess we should probably just head back to Wyvern Falls for the moment and get some treatment before we head back to Thistlebarrel for a report, I should say.
Well, do you know if there's anything in here that we're missing? I mean, from what I could tell, all we had to do was murder the emissaries, and that seems to be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, we were just the distraction for the rest. So, I mean, it looks like our job here is done, especially since everyone else has left.
Does it sound like the battle in the rest of the borough is over?
Yes.
Okay.
I will tell you guys, you do hear some slight noise that's always been there coming from the trash room that I described last week. A nearby room that smells like garbage.
What kind of noise? I can emulate it.
It's always sounded like that. You're not sure what that is, but it hasn't come out to get you yet.
Yeah, I'm saying we should just leave.
I agree.
I'm filled with treasure, but...
That's pretty funny.
God.
What happens next?
That's sort of my worry, that we're leaving something really awesome behind. But you know, I'm more worried about because okay, so Walzer also has he's lost a lot of blood, and in this game, blood is basically health. So I'm a little worried about that. So why don't we head out the way that we came, because we know it's safe, and I'll try and maybe do a survival/medicine check to see if I can build a splint of some something like that. Maybe get some sticks and some
probably with me assisting
twine or whatever, and sort of
back outside. Yeah, there was kind of woods.
Yes. So the first thing I want to do, Graham, is I want to try and like realign the bone to the best of my ability, and then I want to apply a tight splint to it on both sides of the bicep.
Okay. Are you going outside first, or?
Yeah, we'll go outside first. Yeah.
Okay. You go back out into the first chamber. You encountered some goblins in there. The archers in there, dead. You walk down the hallway that was fairly narrow with the mushroom-based alarm,
which goes off again because torchlight.
Okay, you're back outside now.
God, let's never come back here yet.
You're back outside now. The light of day is, rejuvenating and brings new life.
What time is it? roughly?
You know, a little after midday.
Okay, sure.
It was midday when you got here, and it's still midday because you've been in there for about 2 minutes. More like 10 minutes, but not a long time.
Yeah, I guess that kind of did happen over 10 minutes because we were in combat the entire time. So
Yeah.
But there was some talking going on. There were some spells being cast.
Yeah.
It's not. Anyway, it's still daytime. Sun's out. Sun is shining. It's a nice breeze. It's quite cool. There are woods kind of near the bottom of the hill that you're standing on. The entrance kind of is at a cliffside, and there's a path that leads down to safer heights.
if I can make it down there easily enough, I guess we'll do that.
Yeah, you can do it easily enough. Are you mounted?
I am mounted, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Pike can easily make it down there anyway.
Okay.
He uses his wings, kind of flexing open and closed as balance. But you guys are kind of deep in mountain country at this point. It took you about an hour to get this far in, and
Tweet.
it's not bad to get back.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so I would sort of make the splint, and then I guess our first order would be to head back to Wyvern Falls.
Well, go ahead and give me a healing check first.
Healing? Oh, okay. Healing or survival? I mean, both I think would work pretty well.
Healing plus
Healing?
12.
Plus 12? Okay.
More relevant
Yeah.
sort of thing you could probably roll if you didn't
30.
have healing.
Yeah. Okay, you're able to. I imagine you fall hard against the wall to try and set it back in place.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'd be sort of like how you'd, pop a shoulder back in. I mean,
Right.
it's just sort of like realign the bone. I imagine it's probably pretty painful.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a pain grunt? Okay. Well, yeah.
You all right there, man?
It's nothing I can't handle.
And you set it and wrap it with what exactly?
I put 2 sticks on either side of the bicep, both the
Sure.
inside and the outside. And
With
then,
ankle arch.
yeah, and then maybe like if I can find some vine or something like that. If not, I would maybe see if the healing kit has something appropriate for it.
Sure.
Yeah. Or maybe even like take a belt strap from a bag or something like that and sort of like use the belt to sort of tie it down.
Anyway, something. Yeah. Not important. Okay. What happens next? You guys make your way back to the.
Yeah, I mean, head back to Wyvern Falls and see if there's something more permanent that I can get put in place.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys can easily make your way back to Wyvern Falls. Nothing. It seems to be that seems like the world is quiet. Nothing stirring. You make your way back to Wyvern Falls. Despite Engelard's urging to get the women and children to try and take some sort of refuge, they really had. Despite having said that, they didn't really know where to go because to the south they didn't want to go to Fort Mitchell. They didn't want to go into the North Country. They didn't want to go into the woods.
Where did
Yeah,
they
that's
go last
what
time?
They went to Bazemore, which is probably more than a day to the.
Yeah, I suppose my
even-
my advice was just get out of here for just a few hours.
Oh right.
But oh well.
Yeah. Anyway, they either came back or are still. They never left.
They're like packing up and they see him coming back and they're like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah, they're like packing up, trying to get someplace safe, but you're already done. Been,
Well,
2
yeah.
hours.
I mean,
Hour
it,
there, hour
it could,
back.
it
Good
could-
drill, everybody.
I mean,
Yeah.
it theoretically could have gone either way. I mean, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're not sure. It's better to err on the side of caution. Anyway, do you need to do anything in Wyvern Falls?
Is that you're gonna have to help me out here? Is that some sort of medieval plaza? Or something like
No,
that
Wyvern
they
Falls,
use?
remember, is a collection of farmhouses and.
No, I
farm
get that, but
properties.
like, is there a way that I can seek this out to have a more permanent sort of like brace for the arm?
What do you mean?
Well, you know, you get plaster, you get a plaster cast, like in modern day. Is there something like that?
Well, no, that's what I'm trying to say. Wyvern Falls is nothing more than a collection of farmhouses.
No, I
There's
get that. I'm asking you in general.
buildings. Oh yeah, it's possible to get like a sling and whatnot to have it set by somebody who is qualified to do that. A priest, most likely.
Okay. Okay, well...
Or a ranger or druid, somebody who knows something. Or somebody with a healing skill like you. You think you've done well enough. Maybe a sling would be the only thing you're missing.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Well... For the most part, I'm not gonna put my arm in a sling. 2 reasons. The first one is it diminishes. Like I've got, for the most part, it's hidden. Like my injury is hidden. So it's not gonna be like I don't want people seeing that I've got an injury of that magnitude at least. So I want to still have it underneath the clothing that I have, so that it doesn't appear like I don't want to walk around and sling and be like, "Hey, I'm a fucking knight. Check out my 2-handed polearm that I can't use." I don't want it to be like that. And the second one is because, like, I kind of feel that I wouldn't be able to do much riding. Like, I still think. I don't know, like, you're going to have to tell me this here, like, how useless the arm is and, like, just day-to-day stuff.
It is useless.
It is useless? Okay. Well, in that case, maybe this thing wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, and without a sling, the weight of your forearm makes it hurt.
Okay, well, maybe
that's why people put in a sling anyway, I imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd do that, but maybe I'd sort of, like... put it tight across the chest almost, so it's more like sort of
maybe like one hand inside your shirt or something.
Yeah,
like
sort of thing. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
Yeah. You put that together. How do you look now? Let's say some time passes and you kind
of. At a glance, it would look like that I'm missing an arm, I guess. I mean, the sleeve.
Okay.
Yeah, the sleeve is there. Yeah. But it's sort of within the. It's within the jacket, sort of thing, I guess.
You still have that bronze breastplate on.
Yeah, but that's been put underneath the shirt. But I guess right now it's kind of fucked up because it's been cut open. There's been arrows pushed through it.
Yeah, it's got some damage. Yeah, it needs to be repaired sometime soon.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, what happens next? Where do you go next?
Well, I guess we have to report back to
Yeah.
Thistleburrow.
So,
do you want to go through?
So I guess after
Fort Mitchell or
fuck that. No, we're not going through Fort Mitchell.
So you want to go the long way around?
Yeah. Explain to me how that works exactly. I know that one side is cliff face, the other side is forest. Right.
No, you guys are in Wyvern Falls right now. Basically, you can follow the road south, which leads through Fort Mitchell, adjacent to the Valley of the Thousand Statues, but then hooks to the west, and that's how you get to Thistleburrow's Manor. Alternately, you could take the road from Wyvern Falls west immediately, take you 10 miles to the west, and then hook south. You go through Bazemore, which is the kind of technically the capital of the Vale, as far as you know. It's the official seat of power, Lord Waldron, and the Scholars College where Alistair came from.
And where I am from, but
and where Engelard is full.
But I'm kind of
being in exile or pursued.
Would you be able to go through Bazemore still, or is it like impossible for you to go through Bazemore?
Essentially, Engelard was in exile, or self-imposed exile. Oh, you can explain it. Okay, yeah.
Basically, so Engelard's backstory. I did tell you guys. His first son was run over by some really old guy on a whatever. Yeah, horse. One of those. So he kind of got pissed. Tracked the guy down, beat him up a little bit. Apparently, it was a little bit more than he expected. Just the guy died at the end.
Yeah, I remember the story. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what ended up happening though is that that old man was actually the father of a man called the Earl of Riverside.
Yeah, I do remember
the man doesn't have any Earl of Riverside doesn't actually have any power. He's kind of more of just like a guy that people on the outskirts. I can't remember what Riverside is exactly.
Yeah, the River Aldrin runs to the west of Bazemore, all the way down the length of the Vale. And the thing is that Bazemore is overpopulated, and so there's like a shanty town outside the walls and next to the river.
And basically, that guy runs the shanty town unofficially. So he actually has power, despite not having any official power. And so he started investigating his father's death, so Indelarts thought it'd be best just to skip town while he still could, and took his wife and half-sister.
Okay, well, what's the
Yeah,
easiest route
you could,
to get through to
Fort Mitchell. So those are kind of the options. You can go through Orc territory,
I don't think that's a good idea right now.
and so those are kind of the choices.
Yeah. I think going through Bazemore might be the only choice we have.
Might be. Indelarts just need to keep a low profile and hope maybe that after a year they didn't have a good description of what he looked like.
Oh yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah.
So.
It's been almost 2 years now. Yeah.
Well, no,
it's been like it's only been
like
a year.
About a year plus change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
so,
going through Bazemore, it will take you. Yeah. So do you go on Anglar to get your horse?
Yeah. Of course, I'll tell her.
Yeah. Do you reckon Pike will be able to make it through Bazemore?
Well, you don't have to go through Bazemore. You can go around the outside of it. It's just Bazemore it's an imposing city, walled city, and there's the road doesn't go through the city, so you can go next to Bazemore. You don't have to go through it.
Okay, so it's not like in a choke point like Fort Mitchell is.
No, it's just a stopping point. You can go through it or into it or.
Okay, well.
We're just gonna vote past it.
Yeah.
But it will take you multiple days to go the long way.
That's fine. I don't want to deal with Fort Mitchell anymore.
No one wants to deal with Fort Mitchell anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess
provisions or getting supplies or anything.
I still have my two my bag of jerky or whatever, and if anything, I would see if I can get a full sheep for Pike before we leave.
I don't know, Anglar, do you want to let Walzer have a sheep?
I mean,
I'd pay for it. It's not a big deal.
If he paid, it's perfectly fine. If he pays for it, then I'm pretty sure somebody'd be willing to sell it.
Okay.
I can probably inform everybody where I'm going to be again for the next few days. I don't know. There's not much to say. I basically have to just be on the road again. Definitely since Walzer, kind of has a limp, is half the man he used to be, with only one arm.
That makes Walzer feel sad.
Hey, I wouldn't say it to his face.
Oh, okay. I thought he was right there next to you.
Oh hell no.
Anyway, okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm not that.
You're gonna have me carrying this guy's weight for the rest of the journey. Fucking half.
That's about time you fucking picked up some slack there, fucking Anglar, you piece of shit.
I'm going to pick up all of your damn slack now.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh man, I can't pee. Anglar, do you want to give me a hand?
No. That's
just a shake.
Just a shake, man. Don't make it weird. Just one or two, maybe three. Just a shake. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So what am I dealing with in terms of cost for the sheep? Like 3, 4, 5 silver, maybe.
Not much.
For a whole sheep. More than that.
Really? Okay.
An animal is not an invaluable thing.
Yeah, it's not meant to be eaten in one sitting. It's a sheep that's a commodity. It produces wool. It produces milk.
I'll let them share it and whatnot. That's fine. They can take all of that stuff. I just want even if they have like an old.
Not ready.
Well, if they have old mutton lying around, I will take that. It's just for Pike. Like it's not like human consumption.
So taking it like a live sheep is exorbitantly more expensive than just meat, or meat can be purchased for a silver piece per pound.
Yeah, fine. That's fine. I guess I'll take enough for a few days for Pike. Like.
So Pike to survive would probably need at least 30 pounds in a day of meat.
Okay. 30 pounds a day.
He's small. Maybe like 15 pounds.
Well, let's say 30 pounds for the entire trip.
Do you want me to, do some calorie counting, do some math?
Yeah, can you figure out the fat content of mutton?
Well, surely the important thing is the caloric.
We want him to get muscular. It doesn't matter. That's a joke.
Well, protein is what makes it muscular. I'll do the math. How many pounds is Pike?
Not important. Okay.
I'm not doing
gather that up. Put that on the back
Mm-hmm.
of Pike. Gather up the horse, Oberon. Gather up all your supplies, your provisions and whatnot, and set off to the west towards Bazemore.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. All right. Is it the same day or the next day?
Well, it depends. I mean, like, if it's late, I assume, because you said it was
Well,
midday by the
midday.
time we were getting out of the cave, so it'd take like an hour or two to get back. It'll take like, a bit of time for Engelard to maybe spend some quality time with the waifu. And,
Sure. Let's call it the next day.
Sure, yeah, that makes the most sense.
The next day, it begins to rain.
Oh, son of a bitch.
No, I'm used to walking around in the rain. I've been doing it for a while now, so it's not a big deal.
Got some cloaks. You pull your hoods up and eat maybe someone in town cooks you breakfast. That'd be nice.
Mm.
Yeah.
And continue on and
journey.
go to the west.
Yep.
On horse, mounted, takes not as much time as if you were walking. It takes a day to get to Bazemore.
Mm.
The journey is uneventful. The rain, it's not raining heavily. It's a light rain.
Okay.
Refreshing, maybe even.
Okay.
And it's not cold at all. It takes you a day to get to Bazemore. What happens when you get there, though? Because when you approach, you can see from a very long distance away the Scholars College, which is a very large tower and castle that's attached to the Lord's Castle, the keep, if you would. The large wall of the city. There's an enormous gate, and then there is this kind of this crappy-looking shanty town next to it.
Oh boy.
And essentially, the sun's going down, and here you are. What do you do?
Well, I prefer not to camp inside the shanty town or too close to it. Rather not, deal with some trouble.
Well, it depends. How well received do you think Pike will be in town?
Probably not very well received.
Well, then let's camp outside, away from all of the nonsense.
Engelard, that it might be possible that mercenaries employed by the Scholars College might even try to subdue Pike and steal him for purposes. They've been known to do unsavory things.
Yeah, I mean, I probably also mentioned this while and you might want to, if we went in, you might want to watch out for a little bit of poaching on Pike.
Maybe it might be a good idea to just
Exciting news, everybody.
keep going through.
I've discovered exactly how many calories Pike needs in a day. In a day, when he engages in combat, he will need 27 pounds of lamb, as 1 pound of 1/4 fat lamb meat is 1,200 calories, and the largest breed of horse in a day with heavy work needs 33,000 calories. But on a day when he's just walking with you, say, he would only need 20 pounds of lamb meat.
Okay. So he's a little bit smaller than that, so 15. So, sounds good. Anyway.
I would even suggest that we continue on through the night. I mean, if there's poachers lying around, I assume campfires and whatnot would be pretty striking at night, so it might be a good idea to just move around the town and make our way around it tonight, and then camp in the morning for a while, and then keep moving on after that.
Bit dangerous, but I guess that's probably one of our best options. Alright, let's do it.
Okay.
I forgot my rain sound effect that whole time.
It's
That's all right.
raining.
Anyway.
Can you turn up
That's
just a smidgen there?
Well, it's light rain.
Okay, Richard, that's enough.
That's
Stop, Rack.
there's
a
actually
wind.
there's actually no wind.
Oh.
The next day, weather-wise, is exactly the same as the previous day.
Did you not hear what we were doing, Graham?
Continuing through the night.
Yeah.
Yes, you've done so. It's
Oh,
next
okay.
day.
All right. Okay.
Continuing through the night, you make it 5 miles. You're very tired at this point. You got some tiredness penalties, FYI.
That's fine. I said in the morning we would rest for a few hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're about halfway to Thistleborough's Manor from Bazemore. About halfway, let's say this, you left Bazemore through the night, you got halfway to Big Cove. And then you stop, and when the sun comes up, perhaps.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, I would...
8 hours, 5 hours, something like that.
Yeah, something
Just
like
a
that.
few.
Yeah, get maybe like 4 hours, 5 hours sleep or something.
Okay.
I mean, somebody might want to stay up for a couple hours just to make sure nobody was following us.
Okay. Traffic on the road has been slight, if anything. You've gone hours without meeting a soul, especially in the middle of the night. I mean, in the middle of the night, you didn't encounter anybody at all. There's a couple fireflies in the distance, if that counts. As far as sentient or conscious travelers, there has been none since you left the large city of Bazemore.
Is that
Much
weird?
as the could be. You never know.
Okay.
But about midday, when you awaken and continue your way down towards Big Cove, as night falls again, you make your way to Big Cove. Do you need to do anything there?
I would see the folks.
Oh yeah, stop in and see your family. Oh, how lovely. Interestingly enough, Interestingly enough, your father is conspicuously absent.
Mother, do you know what
Father,
happened to
Andrew,
father? Yeah.
and yes, good folks, Andrew and Adelaide. Your mother, if you recall, when you left last, well, actually, when you left the first time, your father was, approving of that, saying, oh, I did that, and
Yeah, that's when we worked out that he had the adventurer's
it's
wanderlust
possible
or
that
whatever.
he may have been an adventurer in the past. It's unclear, but that's what you kind of assumed. And your mother didn't want you to go originally, and when you come back, she sees that your arm's broken. How old is Walzer? Like 25?
He was 22 when he started. God damn it! What was that?
Your cat knocked something over in the home.
Oh, okay. Goddamn cat.
Hang on. What did you say to your mother? Where's
Where's Dad?
is Engelard there?
Yeah, sure.
His mic is muted for the moment.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what is breaking in his house.
Okay, Engelard is not there apparently. She says, he said that he had to go to the city on some sort of business, some sort of opportunity.
The city we just came from, you mean?
Yeah, when people say the city in the Vale, they mean Bazemore.
Okay, yeah.
She says he got some information from Tobias,
Okay.
and basically sped off in the night on the.
Was Tobias
Long
my old
round.
mentor? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Your armor smithing mentor, who was decrepitly old at that point,
Yeah.
and still alive.
So the first one, not the second one.
First one, not the second one. It would seem that your father basically traveled with Forrest Inc. and the Vegetable Men from Big Cove around through Fort Mitchell to Bazemore about a week ago.
Through Fort Mitchell.
Yeah, through Fort Mitchell, through Wyvern Falls.
God damn it. Alright. Is it known that he's my father? Like, is that obvious?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Your
Right.
father is a quite unassuming Beach Christian man. Kind of blends in with the crowd.
Alright, well, I mean, like, being a hero of the Vale and all that, I don't know how much is known about my family and stuff. So.
Well, as far as anyone knows, you didn't go around. You haven't been back to Big Cove except for very short stints, and you haven't really done anything at Big Cove, and so your fame may not translate exactly the same as it would in a place like Wyvern Falls or Fort Mitchell.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay. I'm gonna go see Tobias, I suppose. I need to work out what's going on here.
Oh, don't bother him. He's an old man.
I'll bother him as much as I need to.
Okay.
So I'll go see Tobias. Yeah.
Okay. Tobias, the very old smith,
Mm-hmm.
whose business, ever since you left, has basically he doesn't have a business anymore.
Oh.
He
Poor guy.
basically has sold most of his possessions. He basically sits in his house and does nothing, sits next to his forge and remembers bygone times.
Well, I guess I'll rap at his door and come in, I guess.
Okay, so you just come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Out of the rain. Engelard, are you there now?
I mean, I was probably just off, maybe looking at stuff.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit. So Big Cove is something of a melting pot. There are multiple different...
Yep.
Basically, the humans... There are less humans than everything else combined, and so in a population of about 500, there's about 200 humans and about 300 other. Other meaning there's a lot of halflings, there's a number of dwarves, there's a number of elves, there's a number of high elves even, and you actually see a high elf as you walk by. Shorter than you, but very lithe and platinum.
Well, I mean, shorter than me. I think that's the default assumption.
That's most people, yeah, but shorter than Walzer as well, and very lithe. And then you see some Sylvan elves, which have kind of tan skin. They've got darker hair. They've got more elaborate ears. Pointed both in the top and the bottom. They all dress alike. They all dress like, humans, for lack of a better term. They seem to have lost a lot of cultural identity here, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been here before. I was here before temporarily before I mean, it was only for a very short time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably would have just been out to just to see the town. I didn't really see much of it when I was last here, since I was only here for a couple of days. Mostly just to find some place to live for my family before I left for Woodland Falls.
Yep. Yeah, oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Walzer shows up at Tobias's house, fallen into disrepair, as you would expect.
Yeah.
Walzer.
Yeah. Okay.
So you come in, you knock first and then come in.
Yeah, I you know how you do, like, you might go see your parents, but you would enter, but you would sort of make yourself aware while you're doing it. Like, you wouldn't wait for a response or anything. Yeah.
Sure. You've got to get used to getting your left hand, and it's a bit awkward at first, and it has been for since it broke.
Yeah.
So you reach with your right hand as you would normally, and it hurts. You wince, and then you knock with your left hand and open the door with your left hand. And you see Tobias sitting there in a chair, by the old forge that you learned on. And for those playing at home, Tobias essentially took scrap iron and melted it back down and repurposed it into cheap iron goods. And that's where Walzer learned his craft originally.
Yeah.
Of smithing. Good friend of Walzer's father, Andrew. And always has been. His mentor, in fact.
Tobias. It's good to see you again.
Oh, who's that?
It's Walzer.
Brigands?
No.
Walzer?
Yes.
It's been so long.
Yeah, I've been quite busy.
Folks come by, Murray and the vegetable men, to bring stories of your exploits.
Well, most of them are true. And I pull up a chair and I sit next to him.
It's been too long since I've talked to you. Why did you leave exactly? I don't even recall. I feel like we had a fight, but I can't even remember what it was about.
Well, it's not important now, but I felt it at the time that I needed to expand my knowledge of smithing, and working with scrap metal wasn't all it started to crack up to be.
I suppose it ended up not doing me any good either. Now looks around. He says, "Could you bring me that blanket over there? The rain makes it cold."
Sure. I get his blanket, bring it back to him.
There's a-
Tobias, my father was here before he left. What did he tell you?
He was. He told me he heard the stories of his son's exploits, same as me, and I tell you, it's a worrisome thing. The wanderlust.
Yeah.
The wilds call him a yearning for adventure. That's what he told me. He's an old man. I don't know what got into him.
Do you know where he went?
He told me he was traveling with the vegetable men and that's where I saw him. He said goodbye when they stopped in last.
Did he go see?
I told him it may be the last time he sees me. I don't have much long left.
Does Tobias have any family that I'm aware of?
No. Not that you're aware of.
Okay. Well, I'm.
You were Walzer.
Well, I'm sorry it's taken this long for us to mend the bridges that we broke.
It was all my fault.
I sort of like, just sort of sit back in my chair and I'm like, well, is there anything I can do for you while I'm here? You understand that I need to chase down my father.
I'd like to hear the stories from your lips.
Yeah.
Boy.
So I'm happy to do that. So I sit down and I tell him the story about how I fought off the 6 orcs on the road when I first went to see Thistlebarrow.
Yeah,
and
certainly. Never actually happened.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And then
I'm just for the folks playing at home.
Yeah.
And then
Myself
myself and Oral explored a highly fortified magical tower with wealth of knowledge inside of it that that brimmed with things that both he and I could never understand. Traps abound, and I sort of make it larger than life for the most part.
Embellish, yeah.
Then I tell him the story about how we fought off wyverns attacking the humble town of Fort Mitchell, and how we saved their city from. No, it was the Fort Mitchell one as well, and then that's how we learned of the bigger threat facing Wyvern Falls, and I tell him about how my new friends managed to slay an evil Minotaur mage that was controlling the minds of all the wyverns within the Vale, and how he managed to put him down heroically. And the end of the story, I don't tell him how he turned into an old man or anything like that. I just make him out to be this massive monster that we slayed.
Yeah.
Sure. I then move on to how I lost some of my friends and Oral to the undead scourge that started plaguing the lands, and how the misguided evil magic of the forest skewed the minds of one of my friends, sending him to his death, and how I was able to avenge them by both approaching and fighting off the evil magics of the forest, and how we managed to put down the Wrath Lich Lord that was controlling the undead and save the Vale. And then I start telling him about the dwarves, the hill dwarves that were attacked by goblins, and how there is an evil mastermind within Fort Mitchell that is planning to circumvent the the humans there with a goblin populace that he can easily control, and how we've managed to circumvent a treaty being signed between greater forces of evil, and that's how I broke my arm, and that sort of stuff. And then I tell him about Pike and how I managed to raise this sturdy wyvern to be a friend of mine. And if he wants, I can maybe take him out there and show him Pike as well.
Venture, be quiet.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And and that's sort of the story that I sort of weave.
I understand. It takes several hours, but Tobias is enthralled the entire time. And then he yawns and decides that, just like Spencer, it's time for a nap.
Mm-hmm.
He graciously says, I suppose I have what little life I have left, and all the people have their lives thanks to you and all the things you've done. And I want you to know that I appreciate, and I want you to realize that you were right to fly from the nest, and you've done good.
I show him the lucerne that I made, and I tell him how this has helped me fend off evil more than anything that I've known, and it's thanks to him that I got the skills to learn to go into this sort of stuff. So
it's a very heartfelt moment.
Yes, it is. Much hugging.
And he decides it's time for a nap. You say your goodbyes, and maybe the last goodbyes, but you're not sure. You never know.
Yeah.
Tobias has lived far beyond his means for a very long time.
Okay.
And who knows how long he has left. But he eventually lays down for a nap, and you leave, and back into the rain, still raining.
Okay.
And then what? Then what happens?
Well, I go say my goodbyes to my mother and tell her that I'll be seeking out my father. I tell
your father, before you ever existed, he was an adventurer like you, like yourself, and if he doesn't want to be found, I doubt he will be found.
You have little faith in your son.
You're going to. I have no one left.
There are bigger things afoot right now. I tell her about the goblins and stuff like that. I tell her about Loyal, and I say, as much as I'd like to step away from this, I can't. It's dragging me back.
Why is that your job?
Because no one else is going to do it.
How do you know? You've decided that this is your job when there are 1,000 people in the Vale.
And none of them seem to be doing it. Hence why it's my job.
Just stay here.
No.
Settle down
I won't
with a woman, have a grandchild, or give me a grandchild.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are any woman you want is here would like to bear the child of a hero.
Yes, and I would be a bad father at this point in my life.
He says you're stubborn just like he is.
Yes, well. Some things we can't get away from, I suppose. And with that, I walk out.
You say some goodbyes, and
yeah.
Presumably,
meet back with Engelard. Then what happens?
I mean, presumably, I would have been after. If his story was taking several hours, I presumably would have eventually found Pike again. Just been standing with Pike for a while he did his story.
Yep, standing with Pike in the rain and it's getting wet.
I mean, maybe a bit. Yeah,
maybe under an awning or something, a nearby awning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stand in the rain for hours. Screw that.
All right. Anywho, what happens next?
Well, I guess I would make our way to, or make intentions to go to Thistleburrows.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Same day, or do you stay the night?
Same day. I've said my goodbyes. There's nothing
Yeah.
keeping me here.
be kind of awkward come out of senior advice like, hey, we're not actually leaving yet.
Oh, by the way,
actually-
we need to sleep here. No.
No, it's back to nighttime because remember you left midday and it's taken till nightfall again to get back to Big Cove, and so nighttime.
All right.
Yeah.
In that case, I guess I would go out of my way to maybe camp outside with Pike.
Okay.
'Cause there's no way that I'm guessing Pike can stay in the city.
Yeah.
It'd be difficult.
I'd
Not really
probably,
any. There's not really a wall to Big Cove. Just for the sake of transparency.
yeah.
I
I'd
mean, like
probably
I would let the guards know that I'm here, and that what we're doing, and depending on their reaction, I'll either sleep in or out.
They agree. It's probably best that you stay out.
Yep, that's what I thought. So I'll stay out with Pike. Maybe even get another sheep or something like that while I'm here. Something like that.
Well,
Yeah,
they don't really shepherd sheep around here.
Well, I think he's just going for
just
any
meat.
meat.
Any meat, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Probably stop saying sheep.
Down, yeah.
specifically.
Or if they've got like a barrel of cabbage or something like that, I'd feed him that too. Like
He does not want that.
he wants meat.
He wants meat.
Yeah. I mean,
Cabbage would be much cheaper, but he's a carnivore.
he ate like a fucking few hundred pears once. I mean, like shit.
Yeah, he decided he doesn't want pears or vegetables for that matter. After that,
Okay.
he had the runs for like 4 days.
And you don't want to see a wyvern with diarrhea. That's gross.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Just leaving a trail like a snail. Anyway,
Yeah.
what happens next? You wake up the next day. It's
Yeah.
raining harder.
Oh my god. Well, we might. Well, I say we should just try to get there today.
Still no wind.
Damn it.
Yeah, we would make our way to Thistleburrows.
Yeah,
Okay.
no point in.
Easily make your way to Thistleburrows. It only takes about 2 hours. It's still the morning time, and at that point, that day, Rick the groomsman, Frederick, for long, is there, but he's kind of standing on the porch right now with Byron, and
Okay.
and Byron's kind of looking forlornly at his flower garden. Sees that it's being rained upon very hardly, and
Poor guy.
those in the wintertime, those flowers aren't going to last very long. But they see you approach, and Byron, I mean, there's no umbrellas or anything, but he kind of waits for you to approach them.
Yeah.
Hail.
Hey.
Come on out of that rain, boys.
Do you
We've
mind
been
if I
expecting you.
Do you mind if I put Pike in the stables this time?
So Frederick says, yeah, there's actually an awning attached to the stables. It's not, yeah, that's fine. They'll put him near the stables.
Oh, as
But,
long as he's out of the rain, that's all I want.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
that matters. That's fine. Yeah, so Frederick comes and takes Oberon, and I imagine he lets you lead Pike to the stables
Yeah.
because he doesn't want to.
I just say,
I would-
just go with Oberon. I say to Pike. I'm sure Oberon's used to him now. Like I'm.
Okay, yeah, sure. And
I-
Oberon is a warhorse. He is of stronger stuff.
I would just lead the horse.
Yep, you get out of the rain. Frederick takes Oberon to the stables. Frederick doesn't talk much. Rick doesn't talk much. You've noticed. You've seen him a couple times before. He's not here every day. He's not here every time. He's here on set days.
Yeah.
But he's here to shoe the horse or take the horses to be shoed. He feeds them, cleans the stables, etc.
Well,
rain.
I guess if that we're doing that, I would give Pike a rub down as well. I guess I don't know. Maybe
that
take the
tail?
barding off him and let him sort of just hang out and
Oh yeah,
that
stretch.
sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that happens.
Mhm.
What happens next?
Well, I guess we go see
Yeah, just-
Thistleburrow.
Yeah. We have to new.
Byron's waiting for you on the porch, waiting for you to come back. He opens the door for you and lets you scrape your boots on the steps.
Mhm.
So so you don't track mud in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go inside, and we can turn off the rain now because it's well, those be muted rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see the palatial insides of the Thistleborough's manor. You see that there are not much has changed since the first time you were here, even nor the last.
It never changes.
Large, hardwood, no green rug, smoking room, drawing room, dining area, kitchen area, and the large double doors, brass filigree of Thistleborough's study.
Yeah.
Man, we'll take a break.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes with hour number 2 of Die Party Blood Jews. Don't go anywhere. There's more of this to come. So, yeah, stick around and, yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.